today's video, we are going to go through round by round and understand exactly how Patrick Cripps can win the 2024 Brownlow Medal. Now, before we get started, let's reel off some facts about the Carlton Football Club and the Brownlow Medal. So, we've had 6 Brownlow medalists in the club's history. Bert Deacon in 1947, John James in 1961, Gordon Collis in 1964, Greg Williams in 1994, Chris Judd in 2010, and of course, Patrick Cripps in 2022. Craig Bradley has 144 votes, which has him as the player with the most votes for the Carlton Football Club. He is only 3 votes ahead of Patrick Cripps, who is currently on 141 votes. So I dare say that by the end of the 2024 Brownlow Medal count, Patrick Cripps will be the club's leading Brownlow Medal vote getter in history. So big stuff. Chris Judd has the most 3-vote games with 28, and Chris Judd also has the highest vote per game average with 0.83. So, Cripper. On the surface, I believe this is the best season that I've seen Patrick Cripps play. I've been covering him every week for 7 seasons now. 2022, he was remarkable. I think the highlight of his year was the goal kicking, 20 goals. And this year, I thought he was a lot more consistent. This year, I thought he was more of a match winner than what he's ever been. The score involvements increased to a level that we hadn't seen as much of before and on a more consistent level. And, if you watch the ratings show, you'll know exactly how consistent he was. And, ultimately he led the ratings player of the year award pretty much from the start of the season all the way to the end. So there's no question about his season and if it was great or not. Right now, he's right up there in favoritism to win the Brownlow Medal. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go through every single game and try and understand where his votes will come from. There will also be some highlights attached to this. So this will be a fun, interactive exercise. And hopefully we're sitting here on Monday night during the Brownlow Medal watch along, and we're kicking home a 2nd Brownlow Medal for Patrick Cripps. So let's start with opening round. 23 disposals, 2 centre clearances, kicked a goal, 7 ground ball gets, and 14 pressure acts. I don't think this was his best game of the season, but I do recall this game in particular, he lifted when he needed to. Now, Charlie Curnow may get the votes here. He kicked 4 goals, but he kicked the bulk of his goals in a short amount of time. Harry Mackay also had a really big say in the game, kicking the game-winning goal. George Hewitt was probably our best player on the night here. I'm going to say he doesn't get a vote, Patrick Cripps here. However, if he's able to jag a vote here in opening round, I think it'll be telling for what happens for the rest of the evening. Because the one thing about him is he does stand out and the umpires love his game. And so if he's able to get 1 vote here, that'd be great. But I'm going to have him with 0 votes in this game. Round 1 against the Richmond Football Club, I'm booking him in for 3 votes here. 31 disposals, 7 tackles, 7 score involvements. He had 15 ground ball gets, 8 intercept possessions. He was everywhere. I think this is a really clear best on ground performance, and for that reason, I'm going to give him the 3 votes.
Up and again, took advantage. To Coney, Carroll. Back to Owies, he's got Cripps for company. Eventually now Cunningham.
Gave it straight up though to Hewitt. Cripps over the top to Chair, he's got running support. And Mansell, head over it, got it to Campbell. Tackled big time. Tigers 3 for the Blues in this 3rd quarter. Little almost. Some foot connection. Shovels it out. Got it to Chera. Chera around the corner.
For most of the night. At the moment,
Round 2 was obviously a bye, so we skip right to round 3. This was the Good Friday game against the North Melbourne Football Club. He had 28 disposals, 5 tackles. He kicked a goal. The important stats that we picked up on in this game, 25 pressure acts. He led the team in ground ball gets with 9, 9 score involvements and 9 clearances. I'm going to go right ahead and predict that this will be a 3-vote performance. Harry Mackay did have a really good game here. He may also be in line for the 3 votes. However, given how umpires traditionally vote, I think where there is a close call between a forward and a midfielder, I think, and that midfielder being Patrick Cripps, I'm going to go ahead and predict that Cripps gets the 3 ahead of Harry Mackay. So 3 votes for Cripps in round 3. Round 4 against the Fremantle Dockers. This was obviously in gather round. I don't think we'll be seeing Patrick Cripps get a vote in this game. He had the 20 disposals, 6 tackles, 3 clearances, 6 score involvements. He did kick a goal, but I just don't think he will feature in this game in particular. Moving along to round 5, this was against the Adelaide Crows. This was the first loss of our season, the infamous Sam Berry stoppage. We really let that one slip, but we're not here to talk about the games. We're here to talk about Patrick Cripps. He had 22 disposals in this game with 8 tackles. He kicked a goal, 7 clearances, 5 score involvements. Not the worst game. He may be a chance for a vote. I'm going to put him down for 1 vote here.
Handoff from Cripps to Walsh. Hunt continues. Kennedy, they probe again. Here comes Mackay, but it's Cripps.
When it gets into this stage, this is what they do.
Got forward last week and kicked one, and he does the same.
What have you got in your hand that can come back and take some pressure off? Because they've got a crowd of 40,000 behind them. They're undefeated, and they've won close games.
Dawson comes to a standstill. He didn't want to overcommit. He wished he had it now. Patrick Cripps.
Round 6 against the GWS Giants. This was an awesome game. I think this is far and above one of his best games of the season. And this is one of the most clear, standout 3-vote performances that I may have ever seen Patrick Cripps have in his career. We are talking about 39 disposals with 7 tackles. He had 24 contested possessions, 13 clearances, which, also led the team, 11 score involvements. I'm pretty confident in saying that he will have the 3 votes in this game, and we'll just move along nicely, and that'll be that.
It's crossed for Zach Williams. Played over 100 games for the Giants. Out of the middle. And Newman tries to chisel one in the direction of Cripps. He did well under the circumstances, and now the skipper shakes it off well. Carlton declining off to Cripps in a flash. Carlton on the move. Curnow, which meant that Hewitt and Walsh and Cripps could get involved again.
The other one's Toby Green. He's had 15 touches, but hasn't hit the score.
Carlton. Carroll comes away, uses Cripps. Back to the middle. Bounce. Is that the start of something, or will Carlton quell immediately? We know what Paddy Cripps thinks about it. He shows us not once, but twice. By half-time. Pitnet got it down. Cripps still seeking and searching hard for the football. 30. It takes the right foot kick. A collection of Carlton players led by...
Then we get to round 7. Now, this was a loss. This was the first time we played the Cats for the year. He was really good in this game. 29 possessions, 6 tackles. He kicked 2 goals in this game, which I think is a very important part of the story. 8 score involvements, 8 clearances, 14 contested possessions. Now, the fact that it was a loss may work against him here. I still think he can be awarded the 3 votes, but ultimately I think I'm going to award him with 2 votes in this game. Round 8 against the Collingwood Football Club. Pretty straightforward. I don't think we'll see Patrick Cripps feature in the votes in this game. He had 22 possessions, 6 clearances, 4 tackles, 2 score involvements, and yeah, it was just not a good night for the Carlton Football Club on this occasion, and I don't think we'll see a vote in this game. Then we get to round 9 against the Melbourne Footy Club. This is the game where we started off really well and the D's came home late. We ended up winning this one. Really nice passage of play at the very end where he tackles Petrarca with Nick Newman and eventually wins the game. I think this is potentially a 3-vote game if Petrarca doesn't get the 3 votes. So the stat line says 35 possessions with 5 tackles, 7 clearances. He had 34 pressure acts in this game, and he ultimately was just everywhere and one of his better performances of the year. But like I said, if Petrarca doesn't get the 3, then I think Patrick Cripps will come home with the 3 votes here.
In the middle, one Carlton player there. It was Cripps fighting really hard. Blues have been able to repel. Little knockdown here for Kennedy. Viney. Cripps.
Yours.
Mackay should mark. Walsh. Magnificent handball.
Gawn flicks it to the back. Petrarca's been immense, but this time he's caught holding the ball.
Then we get to round 10. This was Sydney. This was just awful. This was a bad night for everyone. But he wasn't terrible in this game. He had 24 possessions, 21 pressure acts, 5 score involvements, 4 tackles, 5 clearances. I just think the Swans will clean up in this game. You know, we got battered, so I don't think Patrick Cripps will get a vote in round 10 against the Sydney Swans. Round 11 against the Gold Coast Suns. This was at Marvel. He had 31 possessions to go along with 6 tackles, which led the team, 13 clearances, which led the team, including 8 stoppage clearances, 11 score involvements in this game. He kicked a goal. He was awesome. I think this is a 3-vote performance. Interesting to note, potentially we might see a couple of votes here from Sam Walsh, Charlie Curnow, maybe. Zach Williams may jag a vote in this one, but I think Patrick Cripps was the best player on the ground against the Suns in this game.
Williams Brown is against Anderson, and he's just taking it personal.
70 metres away. Miller arrived. Rao, they need something from the ball. He tries to... Koenig have been at it all day. Cripps comes through the contest. He'll get the free kick to Skipper. What a player he is, this man, number 9. Sends it to the pocket. Watch out for Charlie. Oh, watch out for the skip. Just running through.
Defensively at Cripps, but it's over before he knows it.
I'm not sure whose call it was, but I think it's been an outstanding strategy, dragging Curnow deeper after half-time. So the difference is, instead of Andrew dropping off the back of him, taking it in the set mark.
Now Kemp worked that really well to Cripps. Now the crowd will start to get up. It's still 1-on-1 forward, the ball, Curnow and Mac Andrew. That's where the ball wants to be seen as far as the crowd goes, and that's where it might go now.
We get to round 12. This was against the Port Adelaide Power away from home, a place where we had never beaten them ever in the history of the football club. Never beaten Port at the Adelaide Oval until this night. Now, he wasn't at his prolific best in this game. He had the 22 possessions on the night, 11 score involvements, which led the team. And I think you're starting to see the trend of score involvements in his season. 5 tackles, 2 score launches. The 2 goals is what might help him here. I'm going to be conservative and give him 1 vote in this game. He may jag the 2. I don't think he'll get the 3. I think Sam Walsh was really good on this night. He'll probably get the 3. But I think the 2 goals, particularly in the 4th quarter, the game was in the balance and he lifted. It might just jag him a vote in this game. So I'll give him 1 vote.
Cripps went to ground, spun around, and it gets over his head. That's a goal.
It was sensational. Zach Butters, a quick handball, but the link and the intercept from half back.
Walsh, can Cripps do it again? What is that?
Finish is all class. And on the back of the work rate all night, been in there, in and under. So often he's the one who puts the side on his back, the captain.
Butters. Cripps has been huge in this term.
Key component in his side, decoding Cripps.
Then we get to round 13. This was against the Essendon Football Club. He had 19 possessions with 6 tackles, 7 clearances, 3 score launches, 4 score involvements. I don't think we will see Patrick Cripps get a vote in this game. Now, De Koning is an interesting one. He is one to look out for. Let's see how the umpires rate him from a Brownlow vote perspective, because I think De Koning was the best player on the ground on this night, but traditionally ruckmen do not poll well. So let's keep an eye on that, but I'm not going to give Cripps a vote for this game. Skip ahead to round 15 because there was a bye in round 14, and we come up against the Geelong Football Club. This was just peak everything. Peak Carlton, and Cripps was very, very good in this game. This is, I believe, a certain 3-vote game, but I'll explain in a moment. Let's take a look. So 41 possessions with 5 tackles, 18 contested possessions, which led the team, 9 stoppage clearances, which led the team, 14 clearances overall, and 8 score involvements. Now, De Koning was also really good in this game. He was probably best on ground, but again, knowing how the umpires traditionally view ruckman, they don't poll very well. My reality is that De Koning will get the 3. So I'll give Cripps 2 votes in this game against the Cats. But if we see the trend continue where the umpires do not reward the ruckman the way that they traditionally have, then Cripps may very well get the 3 votes here. But I'll book him in for 2 votes in this game. Then we get to Richmond, round 16. I think this is a certain 3-vote game for Patrick Cripps. We've got 40 possessions on this game. So that's a back-to-back 40 possession situation with 17 of those possessions contested. That led the team. 14 clearances, 3 goal assists, and he was just dynamite in this game. One of the best players on the ground. I think he was the best player on the ground. Kicked a goal as well, which is also very important when it comes to Brownlow votes, and I'm booking him in for 3.
Nervous. Bolton. Cripps was all over him the moment he got hold of it.
Great for his confidence. Cripps out of the ruck. Taranto pressured. Cripps out of the middle. Gives off a handball. Walsh. Another one. Stolen by McGovern. Cripps stands underneath it. Exerting his influence. We mentioned Cripps and Walsh.
Finds Cripps.
He is putting on an absolute clinic, Paddy Cripps.
It may well be 41 points now, if successful here, and he is. Beautiful kick.
Just speaks to the power of Carlton, though. Like we said all day, could they stay engaged mentally and at some stage break?
You've got Cunningham, you've got Durden all waiting to come back in.
You know, positioning and the like, and he gets a lick of the ice.
Round 17 against the GWS Giants. This is just the end of the run. Cripper had 33 possessions on this night. He kicked 2 goals. Now, this may work in his favour. He may steal a vote here. He had 21 contested possessions, 10 ground ball gets, 9 score involvements. Obviously, the Giants go on to win this game. We started very well. I have not got him in for a vote, but when Patrick Cripps kicks 2 goals in a game and has 30 plus possessions and a real vintage, high contested possession game, I think he's a chance to steal a vote. Keep an eye out on this game. If he's able to jag 1 vote in this game, that might be the difference between him winning the Brownlow and not winning the Brownlow. But for the purpose of this exercise, I'm not going to give him a vote in this game.
Punches the handball.
For the year now, and you can see 8 of the last 10 goals. Just Thomas to Bedford, who looks up and packs the speed. He ran the full measure. He was up. Charlie Curnow kept him out of the game. Canelio stepped back into traffic. You won't get past Cripps. Anyone this season. The Blues have just got a sniff again here.
And through comes Cripps from the back. Iden to Whitfield. Happy to take it towards the line.
Then we get to round 18 against the Western Bulldogs. This was his 200th game. We lost, but I do think he was the best player on the night. He had 28 possessions. He kicked 2 goals, which was a back-to-back 2-goal performance for him. 8 tackles, 15 contested possessions, 5 ground ball gets, 7 score involvements. I really do think he will get the 3 votes if he doesn't get the 2. I'd be surprised because I think he was clearly the best player on the ground on this night. And he was good from start to finish. So 3 votes here for Cripper.
enough to score. Goes to Harry and Charlie. He can turn a game so quickly. And now, out of the middle, it's Cripps off the left boot. Mackay and Curnow. Mackay, Curnow.
The Bulldogs there on the back foot.
He loaded deep, but he goes to the captain. Where he has improved. Still getting better after 200 games. Patrick Cripps kicking the big goals. And Cripps has two, and he wants it.
Move the umpire out of the way. Good contest. Here goes Cripps again. Caught with the footy, just getting it away. It was Cotchell. Still the Blues come. Squeezed out the back. There's a whistle on play. Cripps throws his weight around and prevails into a contest, and it's a good contest. English and Cripps.
Then we get to round 19 against the North Melbourne Footy Club. This was the rematch. So Cripps had 29 possessions on this night, 7 tackles, 9 clearances, 9 score involvements, 9 ground ball gets, 14 contested possessions. I think he will find a way to get at least 1 vote in this game. So I'm going to put him down for 1, and we'll see how this one plays out. Round 20 against Port Adelaide at Marvel Stadium. This is where it starts getting tricky because we don't play well. We start losing. Now, Curnow was good in this game. Walsh was very good in this game. Cripps had 25 possessions on this night. He had 5 tackles, 4 inside 50s, 8 clearances, which led the team, 10 ground ball gets, 18 contested possessions. It was a strong performance. I don't think he'll get a vote for this game, so I'll leave this one as a 0. Then we get to round 21. This was the rematch against Collingwood. I think he was the best player on this night. And I remember the conversation really clearly because it wasn't that long ago. But he had 30 possessions on this night, 9 inside 50s, 15 contested possessions, 9 score involvements, 7 clearances, and he kicked a goal. So in a lot of these games where I've got him having 3 votes, he's kicked a goal in most, if not all of them. So I'm going to say 3 votes. It was a tight game all night-ish. We came home strong. Kick after the siren didn't go our way. And I think he also lifted in that 4th quarter in particular. And I think, having 30 possessions on this night will help him with the 3 votes. I'm not as confident on this one being a 3-vote game as the others, but I've got him down for 3. Hawthorn, round 22. So bad. No votes in this game, but it is worth noting he had 25 possessions, 8 clearances, 7 tackles, 8 score involvements, 15 contested possessions. Played well, but ultimately I think Hawthorn will be cleaning up on this day, on this game, and I'm really excited to move into the future so we can eventually forget about it. Then we get to round 23. We are playing the West Coast Eagles. Patrick Cripps, book it in. 3 votes, 35 possessions, 2 tackles, couple of hitouts, 8 inside 50s, 10 clearances, 12 score involvements, 21 contested possessions. Did not kick a goal, but I think this is really clearly a 3-vote game for him.
In the 8, and Cripps has been got it to Williams, kick smothered, Kelly over his head. Ryan, race for contact.
On the head, here's the corky we think it might be.
Knowing Cripps attracting a few.
Clearance either.
Bit of net Bailey, Williams down to Cripps. Another possessions at the moment in game 2. Found Kennedy, gave it off to Cripps. Possession 23, launches long, Williams!
And then he was away, and Ali Reid, we've seen this a bit in his game. We know all the good things he can do, but he can be exposed against going
out of defence. Continue up to the wing, and again Cripps, just a presence, such a good target.
Turning the ball over, but look at the effort here. It's a really nice bit of play there, but
Chera's out, Boyd, and this man has taken control.
To the future for this club, because they don't have a coach for next year either.
Nice bit of French picked up by you, Pav, too.
I hope he is feeling the love from the lounge rooms at home.
And then we get to round 24 against the St Kilda Football Club. I've got him with 1 vote in this game. 30 possessions, 9 tackles, 9 ground ball gets, 8 clearances, 5 score involvements and 18 contested possessions. He was really good. I wouldn't be surprised if he was able to jag 2 votes in this game, but to be conservative, I'm going to say 1 vote.
Burns caught by Cripps. Did. Plenty of St Kilda players. Butler trying to break out of there.
The moment that you talk about, you just got to stay involved with this game. Because if they let one through there, it just stretches the margin.
Need to find a score and find it fast.
Lord to Cripps, uses his left, Akers. New contact was coming. The non-regulars. Cripps and Sharman in ruck. Cripps.
Team playing a dead rubber game. Little chip back inside Jones, cut off by Cripps.
It all breaks down over his head. Lord to Dow. He's tackled. Look at them swarm on him.
Stock has been running alongside Paddy Cripps. Paddy Cripps really starting to flex. This will be possession number 10 for the quarter. 9 for the quarter.
And a very good win over his former side. Cripps, Walsh, tackled by Dow. Floating kick is marked. It is pure leadership. Young, back to the wing, through the fingers of Jones. Cripps to him.
He does. Marshall's there as well. Steele was wrapped up in the one-arm tackle there by Cripps.
And that's that. That is how Patrick Cripps wins the Brownlow Medal in 2024. Let me know what you think. It was actually a really good exercise to go through those games one by one. And I guess there are some things to celebrate in the year. And I think Patrick Cripps is certainly one of those. And the year that he had. So looking forward to watching it with you. We'll be here live on the Blue Abroad YouTube channel doing the watch along. We will follow every single vote as it comes out. I'll see you Monday night and we'll go from there. Go Blues.